Hey everyone, and happy Earth Day. This is just a quick little video I'm making kind of off the top of my head, so if I mess up, sorry. I'm trying to do this in one take. So, to the young men and women who are climate activists and who really believe that they're fighting to save people and the planet, this is me calling you from outside of the Matrix. You think that what you're doing is right, but actually, it's in service of an authoritarian elite who do not care about anyone. Let me begin by saying that so long as you're not one of those cynics who's doing the climate activism for money or clout, and there are a lot of people who are doing that, and you know who you are if you are one of them. But if you're not one of those people, I respect your passion. You care about something so strongly. I know that when you see something that you think is wrong, your gut twists. You just feel terrible when you see people doing things to the planet or to other people that you think are hurting the planet and the people. But the policies that you're demanding, you need to think through them. Because if we give up fossil fuels immediately or we switch to all organic farming and get rid of raising cattle, there are going to be billions of people who will die in short order. Now, maybe you think that we're overpopulated anyway. Maybe you think, or you don't think about it too much because it's somewhat out of your hands how the cards fall on population reduction. But maybe you believe the lie that we are overpopulated. Who do you think is going to get to make the choice about what billions of people get to die? Do you think it's going to be equitable? Or do you think it's more likely that it'll just be the world's poor who are not able to afford to harden their infrastructure against extreme weather that's going to happen regardless of climate change? They're not going to be able to feed themselves. And when the West is also producing less food because we've switched to all organic farming, we're not going to be able to give food aid to keep them afloat. All that battery-based infrastructure that you want needs to come from somewhere. And right now, the materials are being produced with slave labor in big open pit mines in some of the poorest places on the globe. Those activities are going to need to rapidly expand, meeting deforestation and continued human suffering in order to get us to net zero quickly. The famine and the deaths due to bad weather will climb, despite the fact that they've been declining for decades, and it's going to be blamed on climate change, even though it's climate policy that's going to allow it to happen. You can throw another can of soup at a priceless painting because your heart appropriately breaks for those people who are suffering. But when this starts getting worse, it's going to be what you asked for. So please, wake up. The planet is going to be fine. The IPCC's own scientists and their own data don't show that extreme weather is getting worse or that food production continues to get worse. It actually has been rising across the globe. Fossil fuel use and environmental protection are not mutually exclusive. They go beautifully hand in hand, in fact, and they have allowed us to use less space for farming and for infrastructure, and we can give more land to preserving natural spaces now because of it. Your compassion is being used against all of us to benefit a few people who don't have compassion for anyone besides themselves. This isn't to say that you shouldn't pursue environmental protection or even activism. We all want clean air and water, and we're totally blessed to be living in a time with vastly cleaner environmental standards than our grandparents. So why does the media convince us that things are worse than ever when they're really not? Your passion is so admirable. You guys are putting yourselves out there for something that you really believe in, and it's wonderful. But this Earth Day, I challenge you to go and find an outdoor space and really enjoy it. Decompress. No news, no internet, no TikTok, no Twitter. Just enjoy nature. And think for a second longer about what it would really mean to get rid of fossil fuels.